bringing in leaders to talk about workers and corporate greed, but also the promise of union organizing. And we're so grateful to be with these leaders. I wanted to start with obviously a related issue, and that's what has been termed greedflation. We just did a report about this last week. When major corporations are taking advantage of consumers by jacking up prices and blaming inflation, just because they can, without any kind of scrutiny. And when they jack up those prices, they hurt a lot of families. And that's what we're seeing all across the country. Here's the reality: just between 20 and 21, just between those few years, corporate profits rose 75%, 5 times the rate of inflation. That is, I think, for so many Americans, an abomination. When corporate profits are exploding by 75%, 5 times faster than inflation. When I travel across Pennsylvania, I hear about this every single day, whether it's people trying to pay their grocery bill or other household or family expenses. And greedflation is impacting our families. This is documented. This isn't some theory. We can document it, and we do in the report. And it's, if anything, it's elevated the significance of unions and why union organizing has never been more important. To give a worker and his or her family a shot at being able to make ends meet because they have the benefit of a union. And unions like those that are represented here today are critically important in this fight for workers. Strengthening workers' rights and protections, including the fundamental right to organize, which, by the way, is under threat. And anyone who thinks just because we had a legislation in 1935, the National Labor Relations Act, that everything's okay, every day of the week that right is under threat across the country. It's essential. That right to organize is essential to building an economy that works for all Americans. So my first question is, President Fain, not just because you've had a couple successful months with your organizing, but I'll start with you. As you know from the deal, the historic deal that you just negotiated, securing wage gains for auto workers, the big three are another example of this. They've seen record profits, and they've given their CEOs millions in salaries and bonuses while fighting to deny their workers a raise and keep their car prices high. How has corporate greed affected American car prices and worker wages?
Things on my mind. When you talk about corporate profits exploding, I mean, the thing I don't want to get lost is that same time they were exploding, worker pay was regressing, and conditions were regressing. I've had, Mr. Higgins was talking about how increases in pay will impact the economy negatively. This goes back to the fear-mongering that takes place. Anytime we bargain a good contract, the next narrative that gets put out there is that, the world's going to end because working-class people make a livable wage, and it's going to drive the price of vehicles up. But when you talk about what's happened the last 4 years, there's a sad irony to me. I didn't hear anything about this over the last 4 years. The price of vehicles went up 30 to 35% over the last 4 years.
Friends, this is bad. A growing number of retirees and seniors are beginning to feel pinched by smaller Social Security payments. Many top lawmakers are working to pass new legislation that would increase benefits for all recipients. Experts have also announced what steps Americans should take in order to receive the maximum benefit amount. My dear friends, please make sure that you watch until the end of this video to learn more about this. Also, to say thank you for being part of this community. Every Friday, I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, all you have to do, friends, is click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you watch and then comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. The big funding shortfall for Social Security is starting to worry millions of Americans, including Republican and Democratic lawmakers, according to the Senior Citizens League. Between the 2022 increase in the cost of living and the inflation adjustment provided to Social Security recipients, there was a 46% gap between what Americans should have received. Last January, Social Security recipients received a 5.9% cost of living adjustment, which upped the average benefit check from $1,564 in 2021 to $1,656 for 2022. That was an increase of $92. The year of 2022 started with a rate of 8.2% in January and finally dipped to 7.1% in November. The 5.9% inflation adjustment fell short of actual inflation every month by 46% on average, leaving the average Social Security benefit short by more than $42 each month and more than $508 for the year. The annual inflation rate for 2021 was 7%. However, the adjustment for Social Security benefits is calculated based on the change between the third quarters of the similar CPIW. In the third quarter of 2021, the CPIW increased by 5.9%. By the end of the fourth quarter, that rate had jumped to 7.4%, leaving millions of seniors short before 2022 had even begun. In August, the consensus from the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia survey was that the CPI inflation rate will decline from 3.2% in 2023 and to 2.5% in 2024. Recent surveys from the Senior Citizens League reported that 33% of the senior citizens who were surveyed applied for food stamps or had visited a food pantry this year, compared with 22% last year, and that 17% applied for assistance with heating costs, compared with 10% last year. So despite an 8.7% increase in Social Security payments in 2023, seniors are still having to deal with a big shortfall from 2022 amid inflation and their Social Security payments. Your monthly Social Security benefit in retirement is heavily dependent on you. Your career choices and how you plan for retirement will have a major impact on how much you receive from the government when you plan to make your claim. It is possible to collect up to $4,555 per month from Social Security in 2023. That maximum will increase to $4,873 in 2024. When the SSA calculates retirement benefit, it uses the average of your 35 highest earning years, adjusted for inflation. If you work less than 35 years, it will fill those missing years with zeros, bringing your average down. Most Americans will end up working 35 years. So if you want the maximum Social Security retirement benefit, you have to pay the maximum Social Security tax for at least 35 years. Social Security taxes only apply to applicable wages, earned up to a certain value each year. Every year, that number is adjusted for inflation. For 2023, the amount is $160,200. Any amount earned above that is exempt from Social Security taxes. Next year, the cap will rise to $168,600. According to the Motley Fool, while you become eligible for benefits at age 62, waiting until you turn 70 will earn you delayed retirement credits. For each year you delay beyond your full retirement age, you will increase your benefit by 8 percentage points. However, friends, there are two important things to note. First, the full retirement age is increasing. Those born in 1960 or later have a full retirement age of 67. Therefore, the maximum they can receive in delayed retirement credits is a 24% bump. Those born between 1955 and 1959 have a full retirement age between 66 and 67 years old. The second thing to note is that you stop receiving delayed retirement credits after age 70. Therefore, there's typically no point in delaying past age 70 when you'll max out your retirement benefit. Well, my beautiful and most amazing friends, that is the end of my daily stimulus update video for today. Dear friends, thank you so much for being part of this community. To say thank you and to show my appreciation, every Friday I will be announcing several winners for the Walmart gift card giveaway. If you would like to enter these weekly giveaway, friends, please click and like several of my videos and then comment below the keyword of each video that you watch. The more videos that you comment on, friends, the greater your chances of winning these giveaways. Thank you and have a wonderful and very blessed weekend.